Hi, welcome to Science and Technology channel. Today we will discuss about the machine learning or data science or artificial intelligence, data cleaning methodologies, and what is the data cleaning and what is the extraction and what are the sources we can discuss in the today topic. Okay, first we will discuss what is the data. A data is a part of information or data which can be used to analyze or predict or provide the input for the algorithms. Okay, data we will get we will get the data in the different formats, maybe using the rdbms or any NoSQL databases also. There are two types. Okay, in the rdbms maybe the mysql, postgres, oracle, and SQL Server 2000 all are coming under the RDBMS databases. Okay, they have their similar kind of syntax, but maybe slight changes and brand names, and maybe the data types slight change, and maybe the syntax also there is a difference for one vendor to another. So all are storing their own methodology and technique for storing the data. Okay, so we are using usually we are using the databases like rdbms, and some big companies or some large data, unstructured data and all, right, they are using the Cassandra NoSQL databases, Cassandra, and Hive, MySQL, Cassandra, Hive, or any other new recent big data science methodologies for use to store the data. Okay, unstructured data. And now we will see what is a data. Data is a piece of information which will be used for provide the input to the source algorithm, and uh, source algorithm or any tool or any prediction systems. We can provide the input for the data. Okay, and before providing the data we need to do the pre-process, nothing but a cleaning of the data. In the data cleaning there are different methodologies. For example, if you get the data, for example, 100 tables you have the data, but you want to directly, if you provide the 100 tables into the tool, very difficult to analyze and what columns you need and what results you expect. Those kinds of things is very important factor here. Okay, but if you are doing providing the input, you have to clean up what are the attributes needed for them, what is the relevant, what is the actual needed columns needed for the your tool and machine learning algorithms. You need to remove unwanted columns or unwanted data, or for example, if you have some columns is having only null values, or only some columns is having some irrelevant informations, binary informations like some zeros and ones, and there is no meaningful information. That kind of data you need to remove or clean up from the tables. Okay, and then whatever the attributes you need, what you feel what are the important attributes is important, only you have to pick those attributes and prepare the data. In the data preparation you need to consider different strategies. Okay, you need to check the is how to handle the null. You can use the statistical methods to handle nulls and all. For example, in the you are using 25 columns of data, maybe in the one column there are some columns are maybe the null. Okay, you don't have the data. How to provide? If you provide the null input, tool will not predict properly, or tool will not process the data properly, or it may throw the error. So in that case what you will do, you have to use the statistics, or mean, median, or standard deviation, or aggregations, or average, whatever value you feel, you can put it on that particular cell, and you can replicate those null fields, whatever the average. You can take average and you can fill it. Or if you have an unwanted columns, really you don't need, just you can remove from the table itself. Okay, so that is one of the important factor. And also the statistics you can use based on the complete column value. Maybe for example 10 5, you can take a average and you can put it in the average value in the empty fields. Okay, that is the thing. Okay, currently we have important thing is data quality. So everywhere the data quality is very important factor. Okay, so data quality play very important. For example, some data is having some information, irrelevant informations like dollar or any special character or symbols, or some characters, ASCII characters. So in that case you have to remove those fields or remove those columns from the data. Okay, for example some fields may not required for your tool or your algorithms or analysis purpose. Okay, in that case you need to identify, and also you need to identify what are the important columns, and you need to list down all the columns, and what are the main primary key, and what is the relationship that you need to identify. Okay, so that is also important. And what are the data types you are using. So for example, if your column type is numeric, if you have the some columns having alphabetic data, so then your tool will not predict whether it is new. If you try to take average, it gives the exception, or it gives throws the error. So in that case, you need to have the numeric data. So you need to make sure or clean up, only put a numeric data in the particular field. Okay, and if you have some missing values, for example some columns having some missing values, in that case what you need to do, whatever I said, some you can fix some default values. You can put a zero or average, or some value, I mean some point, based on the calculation you can make some statistical averages, so you can put it default values. Okay, so that is also important factor. So, for example, in the data types, for example, when we are getting the data, instead of whatever I said, integer, instead of integer, you will getting the string data type. So, in that case, your tool will fail, or it will throw the error. So, what you can do, you have to clean up whatever the expected value from the particular column, and what you need to take care of those data cleaning process. Okay, and for example, if you have the some amount of currency value, for example some currencies having dollars, some currencies having euro, for example multi international, some websites like Amazon or any other Alibaba, or some websites is having different country data. So each country data is having their own currency, symbols are updated like dollars or euros in India, in rupees. So that you have, for example, you have unknown currency if you found in the some columns. So there is no currency or some bug in the column or data. So you need to take care of those factors, and what you need to fix, exactly what you need to change, so that you need to identify. Okay, and you have in the missing values, in the some columns may be empty blank cells. Okay, in that blank cells you need to fill the some null values or some default values. Okay, in the time series when there is a incremental changes. Okay, you need to make the incremental changes. Okay, and conventional data quality, next we will take the accuracy. Data accuracy is a very important factor in the presently. So whatever data you clean and whatever the data you process, right? So the accuracy is important. And so accuracy is one of the important factor in the data cleaning or data methodology. Okay, and context independent. Context independent means no accounting for what is important. If you are computing aggregates, you have to tolerate lot of inaccuracy, and you mean some values may not matching your expectation, some may are expecting. So that is a context independence. Okay, and third one is incomplete. Maybe in some data may have the proper values, some may be irrelevant values may be there. So in that case, it we can consider it as invaluable. Okay, so that is the thing. So in the data quality, we have to check the different parameters. Okay, we have to see the data gathering and data delivery, data storage, data integration, data retrieval, and data mining. Okay, so data gathering means we have the different set of data. Maybe one data is some data is having in the data warehouse. Some data you are getting from the file system, maybe CSV, flat file, or text file, and some data you are getting from the other NoSQL databases. So the collecting the information and gathering, I mean taking into the particular channel. So that is called data gathering. Okay, in the data gathering, we have to identify the different data sources and fetch the relevant information and make the proper channel. So that is a data gathering. Okay, data delivery means once you fetch the identify the sources like data warehouse or data mart or NoSQL databases or any data source. Okay, so you need to make the proper channel, whether it is a whether it is a some sort of tables or some sort of files. You have to make the one aligned to the particular format. Okay, so you need to aggregate or merge the multiple sources, and you need to prepare one particular table or one particular file or one particular folder. Okay, and the data delivery is nothing but whatever we collected, whatever we gathered, whatever we make the information, right? So that we have to provide the delivery to the particular algorithms, or it might be required for process the next step of applications, or next step of algorithms, or next step of other systems or interdependent systems. So that is the data delivery. Data storage, and also whatever you process, whatever you extract the information and whatever you gather the information, right? You have to store that particular form of storage, whether you need to store it in hard drive or any other SSD drives or pen drive, right? Any type of storage you can store, tape storage or disk storage or DVD optical storage. Different types of storages will be there. You can store the data for the retrieval purpose. Okay, you can store the data in the particular area, or you can store it in the cloud also. Nowadays cloud is very playing very important role in the present situation, so you can store it in the cloud also. Okay, so the next is data integration. Integration means we have prepared we have gathered the data, we have delivered the data, and we have stored that data. Okay, and we have to integrate with the applications or any algorithms or any websites or any any vendor or any channel, we have to integrate those data using the different drivers or any applications or channels. Okay, so data integration is very important factor in the data quality. Okay, and data retrieval, whatever data you stored, right? So that is the you need to fetch in the particular time of process, or you need to fetch the, you need to feed the data into the algorithms, and you need to identify the results, and you need to get the result, and whatever the parameters, what is the result you want, those things you have to retrieval is also important factor in this. How you can retrieve the data using the query, or if it is in the CSV file, you can use a CSV reader, or file system reader, or any programming language, whether it may be Java or Python, whatever you can use. So the retrieval is also important in this factor. Okay, and the last final stage is, once the data is ready, all the cleaning process is done, all the data cleaning process is done, and all the data is fine, well and fine, and it is stored, and it is made a separate file system or a database or table. It is ready to use, and it is stored in the particular hard drive or cloud or any SSD or optical drive. Then you need to take the data and use the mining purpose, or data mining, or whatever your data science or analysis or algorithms you can use, and do the process. So that is the important processes. And so now we can see that in the data, some later in detail we will go that data gathering means it is a they have their own they have each data having their own formats and data types. For example, if you consider the text file, all the data considered as a text or strings. Okay, if you came to the, if you import those data into the databases, right, only some numbers, some columns is having numbers, it is considered as a numeric, and some columns are strings, so that is considering as a varchar or text. Okay, so that is a data gathering part. And so next we will see data delivery. Data delivery means nothing but when we apply the aggregations, right? Like minimum, maximum, average, count. All we have to do some operations for the replacing with null with XYZ value or some aggregated value. In that time, there is a chance of loss of data. Maybe some null is required. Maybe some null is having actual meaning. So in that case, there is a chance of data. That is also important factor we need to consider. Okay, and the next is storage, right? We have to store, when we are storing the data, we need to identify the legacy systems and data sources, and any timestamp related data, or any inappropriate normalizations, and structure, how the transmission, it may be Excel sheets, maybe the some only two string substring values, or maybe year value. I think year value, it's not having four values, maybe only last two digits. So in those are all things we need to consider when we are storing the data, because when you are retrieving, you need to fetch the same structure, right? So it will not problem in the further data fetching. Okay, so and also you need to store the metadata also, because once you data, what kind of data, what is the data types, and how it can be stored, whether it is a row wise or column wise, or those metadata information you need to keep, or you need to document those things clearly. And what you can use the different tools. Now you have the different data cleaning tools you have, so you can clean using those tools, and easily you can manage the data. Okay, And the data integrations, you have the you will face some problems like time synchronization, some Linux compatibility or Windows compatibility. Maybe the spreadsheet versions may be the different, and maybe the MySQL or Oracle or PLSQL or and versions may be the different. One keyword is not compatible with the other versions when you are retrieving the data. So that old keyword is, I mean, backward compatibility is there. But if you are using the higher to lower version, that higher version, whatever keyword you are using, you are not able to fetch it in the lower version RDBMS databases. So that is one of the things when looking at the problems in the data integration. Okay. And we have different tools for that data exploration, and you can use those tools and you can easily solve this kind of problems. Okay. In the data retrieval, you can use the queries like select star, select xyz. You can join multiple ways, like using join conditions, inner join, outer join, left outer join, right outer join. And so a different way you can join and you can use the data. Okay. And data mining and analysis last. And data mining, it's a scale and confidences. What are the methodologies you use, what are the algorithms you are using, identify, and what is the results you need, what you need to predict, and what model you need to build. And those kinds of things you need to do in the data mining. It may be you need to predict the historic using the historic data, or you maybe use the historic data, you can predict the future. And you can analyze what is the hot point, or what is the risk area, and what is the problematic spot. You can easily identify using the mining algorithms and techniques. Okay. And data quality metrics next. We can see the data quality metrics. So in the data quality metrics, we have statistical and dynamic metrics, and operational and diagnostic. Statistic Static and dynamic constant means, static means we use the similar kind of structure, constants or values, or fixed values. In dynamic means we have some, based on the logical conditions, we need to fix the constants. So that is a dynamic constants. Okay. So now we saw that the data quality process. Okay, first one is data gathering, and we need to gather the data, and you use the loading, and then the loading the data, and profile the data, and validate, and integrate, and build a rule, and use cases, and run algorithms. And so you, once you get the result, you can see that analyze the data. Okay. So this is one of the important factors in the data mining. So thank you for watching this video. So we will see in the next video. Thank you.